We'll now hear from public officials and speakers who identified themselves as students or parents. Please note that Spanish live captioning is available for those viewing the meeting via live stream, and live Spanish interpretation is available in person in the auditorium. Public comment during school board meetings will only be available to those persons who have signed up to speak prior to the meeting time per current protocol. Verbal and other disruptions by persons during school board meetings are not acceptable, as they inhibit the board's ability to conduct business and the public's ability to observe those processes. Persons who participate in such behavior will be given one warning, and if the behavior is repeated, they will be asked to leave the meeting. We have 85 speakers tonight who will be limited to 1 minute each per board policy, since we have more than 30 people signed up to address the board tonight. We ask that you stay on topic and refrain from naming individuals, especially students, as their identity is protected under the law, but you may name your own child. I ask that you please respect our procedures and that of the other speakers, and end your comments promptly when the time has expired and the bell rings. Our first speaker will be from the office of U.S. Representative Sylvia Garcia. Gloria Moreno, you may come to the podium. Thank you.
I'm following Otis because you told me to follow him.
Clearly. It's hard. That's a hard act to follow.
Exactly.
For sure.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be here. Congresswoman Garcia is actually on a flight, so I wanted to prepare her response and communicate those to you. Schools have to be safe for every child, and there's no exceptions to that. That includes immigrant students and students in mixed status families. Right now, our communities are facing unprecedented actions by ICE. Families are afraid to come. Students are carrying that fear into classrooms. HISD needs one clear policy for student protests applied the same way at every campus. Free speech should not depend on your zip code. Consistency protects students, consistency protects educators, and consistency protects us, you, the district. We should be unapologetically pro-First Amendment. Peaceful protest is a fundamental tenet of our Constitution. Governor Abbott's threats to punish schools for student protests are very dangerous. Do not allow that to happen. It is to ensure that our students are safe and protected, and that we follow Otis's message. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, State Senator Molly Cook.
Good evening to the Board of Managers. Thank you for your attention to our comments today. For the past 3 years, this unelected board has struggled to be transparent or even obfuscated data from the public and parents about decision making. Teacher turnover has been shockingly high. Over 13,000 students have left HISD, and there have been frequent reports of spending concerns. While these issues continue to unfold, we are also watching our state government punish children for exercising their First Amendment rights, and our federal government deploying masked police to kidnap our neighbors. Now more than ever, we need transparency from this board and clear commitments that HISD will protect all of our students and teachers. You must boldly affirm that schools are safe for immigrant students and parents. Commit to not punishing students more harshly for political activities and protesting as they use their personal power to affect political change. You must ensure our schools remain welcoming and open to all students by rejecting policies creating daily periods of prayer, and it's my understanding that perhaps that I hope that is not overshadowed by other drawbacks. If this board does not actively affirm values of protection and free speech, it affirms the opposite. I want to end by saying thank you to the parents and students who are here with us today. We are in an incredibly difficult moment. By fighting for our public schools, you are protecting the bedrock principles of our democracy, so thank you. And to every student exercising their freedom of speech and personal political power, I am so proud of you, and we have your back.
Thank you. Up next, State Representative Christina Morales.
Thank you and good evening. I am here to demand that HISD clearly and publicly affirm that our schools are safe for immigrant students. Parents asked me to stand with them on this issue, but guess what? Their children are already standing on their own. I have attended 2 student protests within the last few days. and I know today there was a sick out. Our students are organizing because they feel unheard, because they feel unsafe, because they feel like adults in charge are not protecting them. That should trouble every single one of you. There is turmoil in our city. There is fear in our district. Immigrant children are carrying anxiety that no child should carry. My 9-year-old grandson asked me, why does Donald Trump hate Mexican? He is 9 years old. That is what children are absorbing, and it doesn't take a lot for a child to feel hated. A wise person recently said, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. So I'm asking you, where is your love? HISD should be a sanctuary, a place where every child knows they belong, a place where fear does not follow them through the school doors. You were appointed to improve the lives of children. Right now, they are braver than you. Show them you have their back, or they will never trust you to lead them. History will remember who stood up for these children and who stayed silent.
Thank you. Next up, State Representative John Rosenthal. Is he not here? Okay. Then State Board of Education member Stacy Childs.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. I was not born in Houston, but Houston raised me professionally. HISD gave me my first big girl job, which was that 5th grade classroom in Southwest Houston. So when I speak today, I am not speaking as a visitor. I am speaking as someone who loves this district. And because I love HISD, I am concerned. At the center of every single decision we make has to be the children. Before you decide to take programs out of school tonight, please consider the impact it has on the children. Children should not be afraid to come to school because of what might happen to them at the hands of ICE. I urge you, please, to do something. Right now, families are paying attention. Do students feel safe in Houston ISD? Do the parents and the students feel like this district belongs to them? Because it does. Protect our students, protect the First Amendment, rebuild trust with families, let children feel safe. Because our children are watching you, so let's do right by them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Houston City Council member Dr. Carolyn Evans-Shabazz. Not here? Okay. Then we'll go to Houston City Council member Abby Kamen. Abby?
Good evening. I'm here today on behalf of families of my district who've reached out to us, and I want to share some of their concerns. Our immigrant students do not feel safe. HISD has lost nearly 4,000 immigrant students. That's 22% of immigrant students not coming to school right now out of fear. Our public schools must be institutions of trust, and we cannot leave immigrant students behind because of inhumane federal policies and rogue, untrained immigration agents that are violating our civil rights and the liberties of residents. And I ask this board to clearly reassure families about the policies and measures being taken to ensure the safety and security of students. Today, families chose to use their voice in a day of action, and we are seeing civic engagement, yes, even through student-led protests, just as Otis lifted up. Public education and peaceful protests are the bedrocks of our democracy. But consistent disciplinary action against students in response to recent protests. Specifically, I'm being told that NES students who have protested appear to be disciplined more harshly than those at other schools. So I respectfully request leniency for these students that are engaging in our society, are engaging civically and grappling with issues that we as a nation are grappling with. They should be celebrated, not punished. I lastly want to thank you for your careful consideration of the significantly harmful implications of SB 11 school prayer, and I appreciate the board's recommendation of no implementation on that. So on behalf of the incredibly diverse communities in my district, thank you for your time. Thank you for voting no on SB 11, but let's support the First Amendment in other ways, including lifting up the voices of our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have several of our elected trustees. Was this? Okay. Next up is Trustee Maria Benzon. I saw her earlier. No, there she is. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Board of Managers. My name is Dr. Maria Benzon, and I'm the HISD trustee in District 5. I believe we can agree that we all want strong, thriving public schools. Everyone who participated in today's sick out also agree. We also agree that it requires trust, transparency, and responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars. Under the current leadership, HISD administrators have authorized about $870 million in spending without required board approval. The spending threshold was raised from $100,000 to $1 million without elected oversight. We've seen $100 million spent replacing nearly new furniture and technology, $2 million on a district-run news station, and a tripling of central office staff earning over $200,000, while vital supports for homeless students, wraparound services, and autism programs were reduced. Some say no bond, no education, as if parents who oppose the bond do not care about children's learning. Updated schools. We do care. We know our students deserve better facilities. We need a bond, and the path to a successful bond is clear. Restore local control with elected trustees on this dais, and appoint leadership the community can trust. Restore transparency, restore oversight, restore our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Trustee Michael McDonough.
Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Members of the board, over the course of my careers, I served as principal of two of the largest high schools in this district. The top privilege was to shake the hand of each student as they graduated. Now, my math tells me that over those 13 graduations, I shook more than 10,000 hands. More than 10,000 students trusted me and my team with their education. They did that not because I had all the answers, but because of demonstrated leadership rooted in listening, in respect, and in a clear vision for our kids. Now, I want you to think back to the open houses that you went to for your children, and what's the number one question you had as a parent? I would say it was this: do you know my child? That's what you wanted answered from every teacher. In addition, parents want their children to feel safe at school. They want their campuses saturated with opportunity. They want their children to leave with real options for college, career, comes next. I don't stand here with the singular focus that everything happening in HISD right now is bad. Resources and supports are going into neighborhoods that were overlooked for decades, and that is good. Increasing the number of students reading at grade level is good. If progress helps position us to end the takeover, that is good. Yet the what is important, but the how is what is impactful. Perhaps what I learned that has served me the most is that progress is strongest when it is built with people, not just for them. Anytime I walked into a room thinking I was the smartest person there, I was quickly reminded that I wasn't. But when I entered, focused on listening, learning, and respecting lived experiences, I walked away a better leader, and the better decision followed. That is the kind of leadership our district needs, because our community does not expect perfection. They expect partnership. They expect honesty. They expect to be treated as valued stakeholders in the education of their children. Families understand that we won't always agree. But if we want schools where students are safe, prepared, and thriving, then we must lead in a way that ensures every family knows that their voice matters. When we listen first, trust grows. When trust grows, enrollment stabilizes. When families feel valued, they stay. And when we build with our community, not apart from it, our children don't just succeed, they flourish. Thank you.
Thank you. We have some other state representatives that have signed up to speak. We have Representative Charlene Ward Johnson. Welcome.
Don't start my time yet. Okay. Good evening. I am State Representative Charlene Ward Johnson, and I proudly represent House District 139. I am here today to stand in solidarity with students and families participating in today's walkout and protest of what's going on, how they're not feeling safe. Schools should be a safe haven for students to come and learn. It's a learning environment, not a place where they should be fearful for their lives. It should not be an environment that's created for them to fear what's going to happen when they walk outside. Since the state takeover, HISD's quality of education has diminished, resulting in students being left behind, students fearing for their families, students fearing for their safety, and students fearing about tomorrow. This is not the HISD that we know. This is not the HISD that many of us have grown up with. I'm not from Houston, but I got here as fast as I could, and I appreciate because the good neighborhood schools produce good neighbors. So once again, I would ask you to be more lenient, to put your students first, put students over your policy. Thank you.
Thank you. We also have State Representative Lauren Ashley Simmons.
Well, we meet again, Mike Miles. And I see some new faces on the board, but I have to give y'all a hand clap. Y'all are looking attentive today and paying attention. I appreciate that, because usually it's always like, hey, look at us. But I'm here on behalf of my constituents and my community. As an organizer, I want to commend and thank the parents and students who have stood up and fought, but they shouldn't have had to do this. I patiently await the day that our school district is turned back over to us and that I can address elected trustees who feel accountable to our communities. It always feels like my remarks fall on the ears of people who are here to serve themselves. I'm a new elected official, but there is, and you can shake your head, Marty, that's fine, but this is my time to speak. As a new elected official, there's a level of scrutiny that you have to go under when you decide that you're going to represent people. And people want your representation or not. And we haven't had that in years. But there is a silver lining to all of this, because I got to swear in a good friend that I admire and adore, who was just a frustrated mom like me, and now she's one of our elected trustees, and a beloved principal who answered the call of his community and ran for office and was elected. And they will join our other elected trustees who are going to help us put this district back together once you're gone. But what I'm going to leave you with, because I see y'all frowning and y'all can frown, I'm a product of HISD. I went to Thompson Elementary, I went to James D. Ryan Middle School, and I graduated from Jack Yates High School. My mother graduated from Jack Yates High School in 1977. My little brother graduated from Jack Yates High School. And my son, who's a student at the University of Texas at Austin, Hookham, because I'm a Longhorn too, graduated from Yates last year. But you know who's not in HISD anymore? My precious 11-year-old daughter who has dyslexia and sickle cell disease. She's supposed to be graduating from Lockhart Elementary with her 5th grade class this year. Out of her friend group, there's one left. And that's because that baby's grandmother works at the school and she wasn't going to leave. I want you to take this with you when you go back to Colorado and when the rest of you leave and slither back into obscurity, that there are communities that were broken and torn apart under your watch. He's going to leave, but you have to remain here. And I hope that when you go and pray to whoever you pray for, that you ask for forgiveness for the communities that you destroyed. And Angela, you can cross your face up all you want, because you can hear what I'm saying. This room is not full like this for no reason. We're not here because we hate you. We're here because we love our kids. We love our schools, and we love our community. I have tears in my eyes. She has tears in her eyes, because I know what it means to have a thriving school in our community. You took the resources out of the schools and put them in centers where kids can't access them. My constituents ask me in Sunnyside all the time, where can I get resources from? I can't get it anymore at Bastion. I can't get them anymore at Worthing. This is why we're here. I don't enjoy doing this. It's an hour-long drive from where I live in traffic. I would rather be doing anything else, and I know they would be too. But as long as you're here, we're going to be here. And like I told you the first time we met, when you're gone, it's going to be us picking up the pieces.
Thank you. We also have former State Representative Jarvis Johnson. Jarvis? Mr. Johnson, welcome.
Good evening. I'm Jarvis Johnson, former city councilman, former state representative, and current executive director of Phoenix Outreach Youth Center, where our motto is we teach children how to think outside the box and color outside the lines. Being ruled by dictators that don't listen to the voices of the people are grounds for the people to demand results with their actions. This country was founded on the principles of protest and civil disobedience. The students feel this oppressive behavior of those that enable ICE and this state takeover to trample on citizens' freedoms and liberties. HISD stifling or prohibiting students' voices only makes robotic humans that will not be leaders. So I encourage our students, follow the examples of our forefathers that rose up against a tyrannical government to create the greatest nation in the world. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your brothers and your sisters and let your voices be heard. Show this district, city, state, and nation how great you are and never be. Don't let this district or society tell you where or what you will be in the future. Stay strong and we will be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our former Harris County Board of Education board member, Danny Norris.
Good evening. I'm here to say just a few things, and actually I was reminded when the young man spoke earlier, that is what we're looking for. We saw a young man that was able to give a presentation, and I think everybody in this room face lit up, including his, when he saw the applause. He was thriving, and that's what we want for all the kids. That's difficult to do when they have to worry about things like ICE, or protesting and having interventions by up at the top. That's hard to do if they have wraparound services taken from their school. That's hard to do if they have schools closed without input. So my big concern, and I think we all in agreement, that I think everybody in this room, including y'all, would say that we all want to see students thrive. So we want to make sure that we have the community input. Anything we do, especially with a board that's not elected and appointed. I have gotten word, there has been stories that things are getting better in some regards, but I've been hearing a lot of discussions from people who have left, and they have not had the best experience. And when you see big exodus of people, typically that's not a good sign. When you have high turnovers, when black people were leaving the South during the Great Migration, because things were very turbulent in the South. When teachers are leaving school districts, there's very big turbulence. I know that the motto seems to be either shape up or ship out, but I would very much encourage that you retain teachers, because that's where students get a chance to thrive like this young man. So before any more big decisions are made, I just say please continue to listen. Be sure to listen to the community, especially in your position. Listen. Be sure to make sure you have all the resources so we can have more young men like this, and not students that are detained or have other issues. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, we have former Houston City Council member Letitia Plummer. She not here? Okay. Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought she was here.
Hi, good evening. I am former Councilmember Letitia Plummer for the City of Houston at Large, Position 4. Good evening, board members. I'm here to speak for families who are scared, exhausted, and losing faith in our school system. Right now, our immigrant community does not feel safe in HISD. When ICE shows up near our campuses, schools stop being places of learning and become places of fear. Children cannot learn when they are worried about their parents may not come home when they get out of school. HISD must clearly and publicly affirm that campuses are safe spaces, places of trust and not trauma. At this time, students who peacefully protest are being punished unfairly. Federal law is clear. Under Tinker and Des Moines, students cannot be disciplined more harshly for political speech than the ordinary rule breaking. Yet, we see unequal punishment. Students at the NES campuses suspended for days, while students at other schools face little or no discipline for the same actions. This discipline. Is that my time? All right, thank you. We are seeing massive teachers turnover, skyrocketing numbers of uncertified teachers, more than 13,000 students leaving the district. Classrooms are being turned into test prep factories instead of places of real learning. Special education students and bilingual students are being denied the support that they're legally entitled to. Meanwhile, our superintendent is spending hundreds of millions of dollars without real oversight on furniture, technology, and even the propaganda of news stations, while cutting services for homeless students, wraparound care, and autism support. So parents are drawing the line. No trust, no bond, with no elected board, no transparency, and no accountability. Giving bond dollars right now is reckless. We clearly say support the sick out. End the takeover, restore local control, reinstate the elected board, and remove Mike Miles. Protect immigrant students, respect student protests, stop SB 1882 charter expansion. Our community's mental health matters. Our children deserve stability, safety, and dignity, not fear, punishment, and chaos. In this takeover, our schools, our families cannot survive it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have trustees on Zoom. I think we have Trustee Gomez via Zoom. Would you please let them in to the Zoom? Thank you.
Placido Gomez, please turn your camera on and unmute yourself.
Thank you so much.
1 second. We'll wait till we can hear you, see you in the room. 1 second. Great. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me. Apologies for not being there in person. I'm somewhere between Austin and Houston, working on Marcos Velez's campaign for Lieutenant Governor. I'm an elected school board member in Houston ISD, and as elected officials, or as people who seek to be elected officials, we make ourselves available to the public. Marcos is doing that statewide. I do that locally. And like it or not, as members of the appointed board, you are also public officials, and it is also your job to make yourself available to the public. I understand that in community meetings that you hosted when the takeover first started, you faced a lot of criticism. People came up, said a lot of harsh things. I don't mean to sound harsh, but that's part of the job. Every single person who's ever been an elected official, everybody who's ever run for public office, has had people criticize them. That is what we do. It is our job to make sure that we're listening to the community and be accountable to the community. So I want to urge you for the 100th time to make yourself available to the public so that there can be back and forth dialogue, so that you could give an honest hearing of what people in the community think. Thank you.
Thank you. Next
Trustee
up.
Donnie Hernandez.
Buenas noches a todos. My name is Dani Hernandez, and I am the locally elected trustee for District 3. I'm here to ask administration and the board to make a public announcement regarding our students' safety. Every HISD school should be a safe place for all students, regardless of documentation status. HISD's #1 priority is school safety, and in these wild times that we're living in, that priority needs to be emphasized. I also want to thank HISD for bringing elected trustees and appointed board members together for the preliminary discussions on returning HISD back to elected control. Thank you and buenas noches.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Mike Doyle, party chair.
Good afternoon, Mike Doyle. Thank you for allowing me to participate today remotely. I stand here in solidarity as the chair of the Democratic Party with the many fine elected officials who have pointed out the issues that require most serious attention by this appointed board. One in particular I speak today upon is the reports we've received of disparate punishment, or at least the prospect of disparate punishment for those students who are not just brave enough, but acting civically as they should, protesting in the threat of direct threats by our elected governor, Abbott to target HISD students who actually are willing to speak up in the face of inappropriate conduct by ICE here in the Houston area. Just last week, I was proud to stand with our elected congressional members and other members of LILAC and other community leaders in a suit that was necessitated by the wrongful continued abuse of citizens by ICE demanding they show their papers. I think and I believe, and I speak on behalf of the Democratic Party in confirming that kind of behavior is not just unacceptable, it's not just un-America, it needs to stop. And I think all the students that are willing to stand up should be appreciated and not punished for that behavior. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next we will hear from speakers who identify themselves as HISD students and parents. Speakers, please state your name, your topic, and step up to the microphone. Ms. Smith will call, please call our speakers. And I will note also that we have given deference to public officials, elected officials, and trustees to go over the 1 minute mark, but we're now going to go back to the 1 minute mark. So please wrap your comments up when you hear the bell. Thank you.
We'd like to invite all students who've signed up to speak to move to the front row, please. All students, if we move to the front row. And then we can start on one end. And just announce your name before you begin, please.
Good evening. My name is Adidas H. Bittner, and I am a 6th grader at HISD. I love my grandmother. When she's sick, her doctor listens carefully before prescribing anything. If it doesn't work, they adjust the plan. Her care is personal, not one size fits all. Schools should be the same. A good teacher assesses us every day through questions and discussions. That's real assessment. But constant standardized testing is different. Data is not the same as truth. When my grandma takes medicine, it comes with a long list of benefits and side effects. Education policies don't. Where is the notice that a program might raise MAP scores but lower students' love of learning? That it might push out experienced teachers? That it might make families feel like schools care more about test prep than creativity, problem solving, teamwork, and leadership? Students are more than test scores. We are thinkers, creators, leaders, and human beings. Please make decisions that heal our schools, not just measure them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here to support students who are walking out to protest ICE and to clarify our rights. The Supreme Court established in the Tinker versus Des Moines that students do not lose First Amendment rights at the schoolhouse door. Schools can only limit protests if they substantially disrupt learning, not because they disagree with our message. Schools can mark as absent for leaving campus without permission. However, discipline must be content neutral and proportionate. If leaving campus normally results in 1 day of detention, a peaceful protest cannot receive harsher punishment simply because we're exercising our First Amendment rights. Recent statements from state officials have overstated legal consequences. Civil rights organizations confirm that threats of arrest, funding cuts, and state takeovers for peaceful protests misrepresent what the law allows. To my fellow students, know your rights. To school teachers, apply rules fairly and respect our constitutional protections. Student voices matter. ICE out.
Thank you.
Students, please be sure to state your name before you begin.
Hello, I'm Malika Mohan, an HISD student. I'm here today because Mauro Henriquez, a student at Sam Houston High School, has been detained by ICE for over 50 days. And last week, students across HISD walked out in protest of ICE. They walked out because they're afraid of coming home from school and not seeing their parents there. They're afraid of seeing their friends being taken by ICE. To quote one of the students who walked out, "We just want to be free and live in a free country." Instead of supporting these students, school administrations threaten disciplinary action in retribution for protesting out of fear of Greg Abbott's threats for funding cuts. As these students fought for their freedom, Miles and the Board of Managers has also done nothing to protect the students that they're meant to serve. I'm here to remind you guys today that your silence is complicity, and history will hold you accountable.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Anna, and I am a student at Durham Elementary. I am upset that my program is no longer available at my school. The program I used to be in was Gifted and Talented because I was GT student. All of you are holding back my learning ability by removing the program, and also the GT coordinator last year was my first and only year of having the honor of doing a project in the program. You see, I want to become an astronaut and also a teacher. My project was about what I love to learn the most.
Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Sara. Soy una estudiante de Durham. Le pido que, por favor, reabre las bibliotecas en las escuelas. Todos estos libros que tengo son de mi escuela y ya no los quieren usar y los quieren tirar a la basura. Y me gusta leer y mis papás me leen todas las noches antes de dormir los libros. Tienen muchos conocimientos e información que nos ayuda a aprender. También ayuda a muchos que tienen trastorno de hablar mejor. Entre yo ir a la biblioteca cuando tengo clases de enriquecimiento y poder sacar un libro de usted y los miembros de la Junta. Tienen el poder para votar para...
She can go ahead. Hey, let her translate for the folks who didn't understand Spanish. Very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm a student at Durham. I'm asking you to please reestablish the libraries in the schools. All these books that are in my school are not being utilized, and they want to throw them in the trash. I love to read, and my parents read to me every night before I go to bed. The books books contain lots of knowledge and information that help us learn. And they also help people better their speech impediments. I miss the library. When I had enrichment classes there, I was able to take books out. You and the members of this board have the power to vote to reestablish our libraries. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Angel Jimenez. I am from Sam Houston MSDC, and I am here to remind you, every single one of y'all, to please take a stand and protect all of us students. Houston is the most diverse city in the entirety of the United States, and I want you all to do something to defend us from unlawful and unjustified immigration enforcement. There are many students here who are afraid to go to school. There are many parents here who are afraid to go to work because of this. I want you to make us stand to do something about this and fight back. You do not have to listen to orders from the state because they are not doing what's correct. Do something and fight back.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Aubrey. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Aubrey Barr, and I am a student in HISD. I participated today in the Sick Out and helped organize it as well. And I would do it again. Students do not protest when they feel heard. Students do not walk out when they feel respected. We did it because this takeover has made us feel powerless in our own schools. You say it's about improvement, but improvement does not feel like fear. It does not feel like teachers being pushed out. It does not feel like students being treated like pawns instead of people. You make decisions about our education without us and then expect us to quietly accept them. We are the ones sitting in the classrooms. We are the ones living through these policies. We are the ones who will carry the consequences long after this board meeting ends. Today was not about skipping school. It was about demanding to be seen. If you truly believe this takeover is working, then you should not be afraid of students' voices. But if students speaking up feels threatening, then maybe the problem isn't the students, it's the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Micah Gabe, and I helped organize the sick out today. I'm here because our district has quietly made peaceful protests a level 3 offense. That's the same category used for serious misconduct. In other words, actions that harm others or threaten safety. Peaceful protests do neither of those things. It is not violent. It is not vandalism. It is students using their voices. We are taught about the Constitution. We learn about the Civil Rights Movement and the young people who changed history by speaking up. But now when students try to express their beliefs respectfully and non-violently, they face harsh discipline. That sends the wrong message. It tells students that silence is safer than standing up for what's right. As a student organizer myself, this disappoints me. No one is asking for chaos. Schools can protect learning time while also respecting students' rights, but punishing peaceful expressions at a high level discourages civic engagement instead of teaching it. If schools are meant to prepare us for citizenship, then our voices should not be treated as violations. I urge the district to reconsider this decision and create policies that protect both safety and student expression. Thank you.
Thank you.
Suhani Duart, please go ahead. Please unmute yourself.
Hey, I'm Naya Dewar.
Great.
I'm Naya Dewar.
Go ahead.
1 second. I want to thank you for not making schools have prayer or reading from the Bible. In 5th grade, we learn about the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment says that the state government can't force religion on people. Public schools are part of the state government. So if school makes us read religious text, then that feels like we're going against what we're taught about our own Constitution. I'm also worried about going to middle school. There are poorly written packets every day, and the teachers are being replaced with people who don't even know the kids' names. And I'm one of the lucky ones who still has a librarian. I get to do Odyssey of the Mind and have book clubs in class. But some other kids should get that too. Please keep protecting our rights and listen to students. We're the ones sitting in those desks every day.
Thank you.
Alina Nasser, please turn your camera on. Or Asia Nasser.
Can you guys hear us okay?
What?
We're hearing students right now. Do you have a student?
Can't hear anything.
Can we come back to you?
I'll go back to you.
Okay. Rick, do you want to come back? I think they're having audio problems. Yeah, okay. These are our last student speakers, so we'll come back to them later.
It's our fourth time.
Okay. Do you want to move on
Let's
to
come
parents?
back to them when they get connected.
Move on to parents?
I'll tell you what, I noticed that Trustee Savant Moore came in, so welcome. Would you like to address the board? Go ahead.
I'd like to thank the trustee that allowed me to talk when I was just a parent advocate, Kathy Bluford Daniels. I have slippers on today because I'm a teacher, 6th grader that is not allowed to sit down. I got to lap around in a mixed demographic classroom. I give homework and the child tells me I don't have books at home, but the library is closed. A 10-year-old comes to me and says, "Thank you for being my familiar because you protect me, because you allowed me to use my peaceful demonstration to walk out, and I thank you." And I told them, remember your corazon, your heart. As trustees, you should be looking at me, Mr. Colon. It's disrespectful because you weren't here when I was just a parent standing up here and my children that were magnet away from them, and now my son is 3,000 miles away from me to receive the best education. But I'm teaching the children. I've been playing undercover boss. In Texas, we have a problem. We've been disrespecting teachers. When you see the data, remember it's a teacher that's doing all the work for that data to be right. So please respect me because I show everybody respect. I've never disrespected Mr. Miles. I keep telling my community we need a bond. But because of disrespect like they just saw on film, that's why they won't vote for the bond. And that's exactly why I'm running for comptroller, because we need an independent agent. So please be respectful. I learned from Mr. Campo. He taught me to look at everything from the macro, but now I look at it from the micro. I used to just be a truck driver at his port, moving pipes across Texas, but now I see the truth. So please listen, because this podium and your policies are affecting people in real time, and that includes me. God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Thank you. So Ms. Smith is going to be calling parents now, correct?
Yes, we're going to try.
We're going to try the Zoom one more time?
One more time.
Okay.
Could parent speakers 1 through 10 please come to the front row? Alina Nasser, are you ready to begin? We're not able to hear you. We're going to have to come back to you. Let's start with parents. Speaker 1, Margarita Moreno.
Good evening. My name is Margarita Moreno, and I'm a parent of a student at Energy Institute High School. I'm here because we need to ensure continued funding programs that make energy exceptional for our kids, and an 1882 partnership with Friends of Energy makes that possible. Interdisciplinary project-based learning is at the heart of our school. Students merge science, engineering, English, and social studies into meaningful projects that mirror the ways that professionals solve problems. This model requires materials, technology, and time, and it's worth every investment because it transforms students into thinkers and doers. During his 3 years at Energy, my son has blossomed through the high expectations of project-based learning, providing and accepting peer reviews, challenging himself through learning tough subjects and applying them in real-world scenarios. His connection to the learning and to the school have fundamentally changed. They work, they change lives.
Thank you.
And with your support, they can thrive under governance and
Thank you.
organization committed to the next generation of STEM learners.
Thank you.
Brianna Mohan, HISD parent, reading on behalf of a teacher. I wish to draw your attention to a concerning matter impacting our school. We are witnessing an exodus of educators from the field, and specifically, many from our campus will soon leave. This is attributable to escalating demands and disproportionate expectations from our leadership. I firmly believe that our teachers represent our most valuable asset regarding student academic achievement. The prevailing message at our campus, evidenced by low spot scores, suggests we are not meeting the district's performance standards. This is very disheartening, given that our student data clearly demonstrates the high caliber of our educators, a fact further corroborated when district leaders select our campus to showcase instructional excellence to other districts. This contradiction leads our teachers to conclude student achievement is only.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Fred Woods. As a parent, I remain deeply dissatisfied with the state takeover. This school district belongs to the communities of Houston, not Austin's bootlickers. Instead of a pathway to improvement for failing schools, many of us continue to experience instability, loss of local voice, and decisions made without meaningful community input at schools across the district. Our schools are not experiments. Our children are not data points. Our teachers are not paper pushers nor professional timekeepers. Students and teachers are leaving. Morale is low, and families feel shut out of decisions that directly affect their neighborhoods. Transparency has been promised, but trust has not been built, and your bonds will continue to be defeated. Accountability should not mean silencing the community. Improvement should not come at the cost of democracy. If the goal is truly better outcomes and high-quality education, and students must be part of the plan.
Thank you.
I urge this board to actively push for
Thank you. Your time is up.
local control and to start treating the Houston community as partners.
Thank you.
Not obstacles.
Thank you.
I'm Trey Comstock. I'm a proud Durham parent. This is our 7th time here. You rapidly and forcibly transformed Durham into a special focus school way back in August, just days before the school year started. Yet by now, your shock and awe implementation has run its course. Your AI slop curriculum is happening in every classroom. Pre-K students sit through PowerPoints. Your timers tick away. Our spacious and beautiful library has been shoved full of desks and transformed into a worksheet mill, which at Durham we call an accelerated learning center. It has been done for months, yet we keep showing up in force, and the losses at Durham keep mounting. If this was simply about a difficult transition, we would expect the disruption to taper off, but months later, instability continues. This issue is no longer about implementation. The damage is sustained, and so we're going to ask an important question. Is this how an HISD school should run?
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Taylor Mundy. I'm a parent at Durham Elementary. By now, according to your parent survey, we should be pleased with what we have and recommend our transformed school to our neighbors. I wonder what the parent survey data from Durham says. I know that you get a high level of response from us. Your representation last month does not reflect the reality on our campus. We are up to 10 teacher losses as of January, and we have now lost our second assistant principal since August. Families continue to pull their students, 45 that we can verify, and from conversations with fellow parents, we are anticipating a huge wave of families to leave at the end of this school year. The confirmed losses already represent nearly $300,000 in lost student funding. This is not a theoretical dissatisfaction. This is a measurable decline. When students withdraw and teachers depart at this scale, it is a sign of systemic failure. Is this how an HISD school should be run?
Thank you.
Hi, Erin Simpson, Durham parent. At this point, it's clear there are two separate but related issues at Durham. You turning us into a special focus school and toxic mismanagement from North Division and Durham's local administration. Families at Durham still do not understand the academic structure now governing our school. We do not know how forced curriculum changes impact our IB and dual language programming, how GT students are being served, how the Accelerated Learning Center measures success, why there are now 2 levels of the teams or Accelerated Learning Center, and when a small group of parents were told about the second center and how it would allegedly serve GT students and be project-based, that seems to have changed, but there's been no communication. We don't know what's going on in there. If so many students are going to the team center that we need 2, why do we need them in the first place? These are not minor details. These define our children's educational experience. Durham's a Title I campus with student-parent compact promising a safe and positive learning environment, positive communication between schools and families, opportunities for...
Thank you.
One of the ways that Durham worked to provide opportunities for parents to be involved were monthly data and donuts or coffee with principal meetings. In previous years, they were scheduled at 8 a.m., making it possible for working parents to attend after drop-offs. This year, they've been moved to 1 p.m., excluding many families. At the first one in September, when the parents were not sufficiently pleased that the school had done well on district manufactured spot observations, parents were told by the assistant principal that we should be cheering louder. With emails and other questions often going unanswered, these meetings were one of the few places where parents could ask questions. Over the months, they became less about data and more simply showing pictures from around the school with increasingly limited time for parent questions and riddled with education buzzwords that mean nothing to the community at large.
Thank you.
Jill Tucker, Durham parent. We did glean from the September and October data and donuts with the principal that our decimated 3rd grade was not seeing an increased number of students succeeding at their DOLs and going to the Accelerated Learning Center. 4th and 5th grades were seeing relatively positive numbers. 3rd grade was not, at least across September and October. How have they done since? We have no idea. IB implementation has been obsolete or inconsistent. How have changes been implemented? We don't know. The principal made promises about GT being implemented in the Accelerated Learning Center, but where's the progress on that? We have no idea because our principal does not prioritize communicating about our educational process for our kids. Is this how an HISD school should be run?
Thank you.
Where is Mike Miles? ¿Dónde está Mike Miles? Bueno, voy a necesitar traducción, por favor. Soy Mauricio Gaitán. Soy un papá de la escuela de Durham. Nuestro campus es un campus bilingüe. Valoramos que haya miembros de la comunidad quienes el español es su único idioma. Nuestro director no habla español y a menudo olvida la necesidad de traducción en las reuniones de padres y la comunidad. Los libros en español desaparecieron de la biblioteca. En nuestra primera reunión, un padre tuvo que ofrecerse para traducir. La escuela, siendo un programa bilingüe, no hay personas que hablen español. Cuando nuestro director se sorprendió por la necesidad de traducción, él aún no nos ha podido responder. En vez de traer personal que hable español, siguen trayendo personal que no se puede comunicar con personas en nuestra comunidad que el español es su único idioma. Eso es algo muy básico, lo cual lo necesitamos nosotros. Ustedes siguen destruyendo nuestro programa. Piensen en toda nuestra comunidad que en Houston, cómo ustedes nos están afectando. Por favor, queremos una mejor educación para todos nuestros hijos.
Thank you.
As a dual language campus, we value the fact that there are members of Durham community for whom Spanish is their only language. Our principal doesn't speak any Spanish and often forgets the need for translation at parent and community functions. Parents noticed the lack of Spanish books in the library and had to request them. At our first Data and Donuts, a parent had to step up to provide translation. When our principal was surprised at the need for Spanish translation at a dual language school. Plenty of people only speak one language, but to not even grasp the basic signals something deeper than oversight. It signals that the identity of this campus is being reshaped without regard to the community it serves.
Speakers 10 through 20, please move to the front row. Speakers 10 through 20, please move up. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, hola, mi nombre es Vanessa, soy mamá de un estudiante de Durham. Durham tenía una larga historia de altos niveles de participación de los padres. Por ejemplo, hicieron copias para los profesores y la oficina, movieron muebles, leyeron en alta voz las memorias y organizaron eventos de construcción comunitaria. Una vez que se instaló nuestro director actual, se eliminó casi toda la participación de los padres. Ya no podíamos ayudar a los profesores ni compartir el amor por la alfabetización con nuestros estudiantes de pre-K y kindergarten. Después de meses de retraso, en diciembre, a los padres se les permitió ayudar de nuevo, pero solo en la oficina y reponiendo libros en la biblioteca. Las directores del título 1A dicen mucho sobre la importancia de la participación de los padres. Por favor, no nos mantengan alejados. Gracias.
Thank you.
Durham had a long history of high levels of parent involvement. They made copies for teachers and the office, moved furniture, read out loud to the younger, and hosted community building events. Once our current principal was installed, almost all parental involvement was eliminated. We could no longer assist teachers or share the love of literacy with our preschool, pre-kinder, and kindergarten students. After months of delay, in December, parents were allowed to help once again, but only in the office and restocking books in the library. Title I guidelines say a lot about how important parental involvement is. We are kept away.
Buenas tardes, soy mamá de una hija en Durham. El director de Durham continúa creando un entorno inestable para estudiantes y profesores. Durham tiene la suerte de tener todavía una biblioteca con libros y una bibliotecario. No está en la misma habitación en la que estaba. Ese es ahora el centro de aprendizaje acelerado. Se ha mantenido en algún tamaño de una aula pequeña. Sin embargo, aún así, nuestros hijos no dicen que la bibliotecaria ya no hace lo que esta estaba entrenada para hacer, que es compartir el amor por los libros y la lectura. En cambio, ahora enseñar el arte de pensamiento de Mike Mouse con PowerPoints a los estudiantes de la escuela primaria de la biblioteca. La administración no comunicó este cambio a los padres. Yo estoy muy contenta porque mi hija ha aprendido mucho, es mi primer año en HISD y ella ha mejorado.
Thank you.
Durham principal continues to create an unstable learning environment environment for students and teachers. Durham is blessed to still have a library with books in it and a librarian. It is not the same room as it was before. That's now the Accelerated Learning Center. It has been crammed into something the size of a small classroom. However, even still, our children tell us that the librarian no longer does what she is trained to do, which is to share the love of books and reading. Instead, she now teaches Mike Miles' art of thinking with PowerPoints to elementary school students in the library. The administration did not communicate this change to parents.
Abby Stargell, Durham parent. Durham's principal displays a consistent pattern of belittling and shaming parents. He publicly admonished concerned parents at a PTA meeting in September for their concerns around the rapid removal of 2 well-respected and high-performing teachers, not honoring the concerns and acting as if they weren't going to be welcoming to the new teachers. He admonished parents for dropping off their kids late in the office one day, and when asked about it, he stated, "I welcomed parents for the first few weeks of school. Now it's time for them to be here on time." On a phone call with a parent who had concerns, he ended the call with, "Are you done? I have a school to run." During school events, parents are monitored like they're doing something wrong. Even simple activities like holiday parties are highly scrutinized. When families are treated as threats.
Thank you.
Hi, Neely Stewart, proud Durham parent. Another parent had a negative experience of our Durham's principal in a meeting about a well-documented concern. They immediately withdrew their child. During the school's holiday parties, parents witnessed our principal belittling another parent in front of children. One of the children was overheard saying, "Why is Mr. King making my mommy's cry?" When a small group of parents and children wanted to meet with our principal in the wake of a sudden removal of their 2 teachers, he refused to meet with the parents, instead sent for HISD PD. When the officer entered, they walked right by, searching, confused, because they couldn't find the harm. Is this provide a safe, positive, healthy learning environment, or provide an environment that allows for positive communication between the teacher, parent, and student? Even prisons have libraries. Floyd, read the room. We don't want ICE, and we don't want you. Remember, history has its eyes on you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Sandra Bulger, proud Durham parent. It's always lovely to see you, Mr. Miles. Always love to see that smirk on your face. You've shown great rapidity in taking action when you believe there to be an issue. We've been here for 7 board meetings now. It's always been a pleasure, but we've been explaining to you that there is an issue at Durham Elementary. You've heard our mounting concerns. You can track the departure of teachers, administrators, and students. Teachers do not leave stable, supportive environments. In these numbers, mid-year, students lose trusted adults. Classroom continuity breaks down. Institutional knowledge disappears. Instability directly impacts children. How are we to interpret your inaction? Is this what's happening? Is what's happening at Durham in line with the standards that you've set for HID? Is this the way you want it to be run? Please extend an olive branch to us and fire Terrence King. He is not suited to be around elementary children.
Thank you.
Sarah Mallor. Durham's principal likes to talk like he owns the school. My teachers, my students, my school. When a parent was stressed about not being able to set up for her child's holiday party, Durham's principal said to her, "You are here with my permission, and I have not dismissed you." Then he demanded that the parent apologize for being disrespectful, like a naughty child. If this is how parents get treated, might we begin to understand why 10 teachers and 2 administrators have been left or removed since August 1st? This is how he treats his current staff? How does he treat the children? This is not about one tense interaction or one difficult meeting. This is a consistent pattern of reduced transparency, restricted access, public belittling, dismissed concerns, withheld data, limited engagement, escalation to law enforcement instead of dialogue. When leadership language centers on my teachers, my students, my school, it reflects ownership, not stewardship. Durham does not belong to one administrator. Is this how HISD...
Thank you.
Michelle Witkowski, Durham community member. Durham doesn't belong to the principal, neither do the teachers nor the students. In the same way that HISD doesn't belong to this board of managers or to you, Mr. Mike Miles. Durham belongs to the students, the families, and the community. The school parent compact per Durham's Title I status makes it clear that Durham belongs to something other than one man. When is the district going to listen to the voices of all the Durham stakeholders declaring that there's a problem here? Again, Durham belongs to the students, the families, and the community, and right now that community is telling you there is a problem. The departures are measurable, the financial losses are measurable, the instability is visible. The question is no longer whether there is an issue. The question is whether the district is willing to address it. We are asking you again to act. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. It is a problem that Miles wants no restrictions on the 1882 schools. As an operator of such partnerships via his company, Third Future, he knows that 1882 partnerships are neither state charters nor true public schools. When his charter company, Third Future, was found to have sent millions of dollars in Texas funds to his Colorado company, it was embarrassing, but not illegal. The state audit reported that there are no rules in the education code for 1882 schools, and it was the district's own fault for not prohibiting such fees in the contract. 1882 is an open invitation to steal public assets. We had policy ELA because this is exactly what happened with our energized in-district charter schools. There, the operator siphoned off $17 million. Our elected board wrote the policies to prevent that from recurring. Miles had you delete ELA and now dumb down EL to almost nothing. As always, he seeks to...
Thank you.
I'm Diana Candida, parent of a third grader. There are too many red flags in the EL policy for 1 minute. The dumbing down of the generally accepted accounting principles to the term of art generally accepted standards for fiscal management is a whopper. Operators are no longer required to provide audited financials. Requiring an initial contract of 10 years plays roulette with our assets. If it turns out badly, there's no way to claw it back to public control. The conditions for non-renewal are no longer required, but may be included in the contract. HISD eliminates its own internal audit rights over the operators. The operators don't have to comply with any HISD policies, including rules that try to make admissions to these schools equitable. There is no oversight, no guardrails, no protection for our public assets. You are giving away our assets with no recourse.
Thank you.
Lauren Niemeyer, a former Durham parent. I am one of the 45 families who has pulled our son from Durham this year because of your horrible NES curriculum and the poor leadership at the school. We had a wonderful experience at Durham last year, and I plan to continue at the school throughout my son's elementary years. It was a heartbreaking decision for us to leave. Durham serves students with a diverse and wide range of needs, yet the district has taken away wraparound specialists, GT and SPED coordinators. Our nurse and our counselor are now only part-time. This team center, where students go who pass their DOL, must self-teach themselves with worksheets and no meaningful, engaging teaching. It is unacceptable, and it's a complete waste of an early education. And to have students endure this, and it was once a beautiful and engaging library, just adds to the indignity.
And the leadership at the school, which you have heard about in depth tonight, is chaotic, disruptive. It's just plain bad. Quite frankly, your principal academy produced a mediocre leader who is not up to the task. These kids, they deserve better. They deserve better. Your curriculum and your leadership is no good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent Miles is not only misusing AI for curriculum, but for compliance. HISD is partnering with ChatGPT for special education compliance purposes, all while cutting 50 employees from the special education office, another devastating reduction to the SPED department after the elimination of the autism support teams 2 years ago. Over these past 3 years, I've devolved into simply demanding this board of managers to just say the word autism so we can at least start somewhere. So far, you have not heeded my request. And why would you? You don't actually have to fix special education. Sure, they claim it's a requirement to meet the exit criteria to end the takeover, but the elusive exit criteria is not based in statute. The TEA says so itself. Exit criteria is never mentioned in the whole Texas Education Code regarding state interventions of a school district. Despite Mike Morath's tepid attempts to obfuscate this fact in his public letters and comments to the Houston community, none of his statements provide a citation to any statutory.
Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up.
Good evening. In Takeover, Domingo Morel asks, if collaboration improves educational outcomes, why pursue policies that create disruption and hostility between communities and government? I keep thinking about that. Because when parents, teachers, and neighbors are continually treated as hostile, disruptive, as noise, that doesn't calm a system, it destabilizes it. It erodes trust. Trust me when I say that I did not want to keep my 13-year-old home today. But when people are not heard, we get louder. We're not asking for the moon. We are asking to be partners in the decisions that affect the heart of this city, our kids and our schools. Y'all are parents or grandparents or neighbors. Do you want a voice in your local schools? I assume so. Why else would you be here? We are asking for that same voice. You can mandate change. You cannot mandate trust. And without trust, nothing holds.
Thank you.
We're ready to move to Zoom speakers. We're going to try Alina and Asia Nasser.
Hi, this is Fatima Nasser, their mom. Unfortunately, they had to go to volleyball practice, so they have stepped out. But we wanted to just share that, Eid was on the HISD school calendar in previous years. This is a very important holiday for the Muslim community of Houston. I believe there's about 200,000 Muslims that live within Harris County, and I think a couple thousand of them are in HISD. Growing up as a Muslim in America, I can tell you that these times are hard. We hear a lot of negative things about our faith and feel misunderstood, and often we feel like we don't belong. And so when HISD did recognize Eid as a holiday, it made my kids and myself feel like we were part of a community that wanted us to be a part of them, wanted us to feel safe and welcomed. And so we'd encourage the board members to reconsider adding that holiday back to the academic calendar school year. We'd really appreciate that. And I speak on behalf of Merit, which is an organization of Muslim parents across Houston.
Thank you.
Dr. Anita Wadwa.
I'm speaking on 1882. Has anyone noticed the names of the proposed partners and how remarkably similar they are? HSPBA Friends is a fundraising organization, and though it knows absolutely nothing about operating a school, it does exist. So does Friends of the Energy Institute High School, which raises funds from energy companies, but does not have expertise in school operations. How about Friends of Challenge Early College High School or Friends of Houston Academy for International Studies? They don't have websites. They sound like they're made up, or special purpose entities, as Enron used to call them. Will we ever find out who is behind them? We will be turning over money, students, communities, and physical infrastructure to these operators. Massive assets, not just the annual dollars. The reputation of our flagship magnet schools. There's a huge risk in giving these schools up to whoever this is.
Thank you. This concludes the public comment from public officials and HISD students and parents.